Hey everyone, today I am joined by my dog. Can you sit? Yes. Her name is Rodeo. And we're also joined by her decrepit favorite toy that I made her. So we call this toy her bird. Obviously it's not a bird, but the reason I call it that is because poodles, hi, are naturally bird dogs. They were bred in Germany to retrieve waterfowl. And so they have a natural prey drive and an affinity for things with wings. And so I made this little toy for her a while ago, and she actually is very destructive. She's a very destructive little creature. So usually if I buy her stuffed toys, she guts them within like the first 15 minutes. But this has held on surprisingly long. It's gross, don't get me wrong. But it, all things considered, held on very well for just being fabric. So I'm going to show you today how you can make your own bird. I'm using a lightweight cotton kind of quilting fabric, but that's just because it's what I have in my scrap pile from my Buy Nothing group, my local Buy Nothing group. I would recommend using a blue or a yellow or an orange, something kind of bright and something within the spectrum of your dog's vision. That's a really pretentious way to phrase that. Personally, I'm using this. You can use whatever you want, but dogs pretty much just see, like, color-wise, like blue and yellow, I think, and maybe orange, so that's why I'm using this. The first thing we're gonna do is cut a big rectangle out of it. So you just want to make sure it's as wide as the length of you want your bird to be. So you've got this really long strip of fabric now, and what we're gonna do is put our right sides together like this, and we're gonna whip out our sewing machine, because ideally you have one of those. To my sewing machine, you're going to put your fabric together and pick a corner, any corner, and you're just going to start sewing, maybe a half an inch in from the outside. Really whatever you think you're capable of. I usually just line it up with the pedal, my pedal to the side, and go like that. And that is our starting point. So you're just going to go all the way around. But make sure you backstitch. All right, and then we're going to go most of the way down this side, but not all the way, because we're going to want to turn it inside out. So I'm going to stop here, it's maybe 2 or 3 inches away. Lift up, put my needle up, cut her off. There you go. This is our gap. And then you're just going to turn it inside out. Ooh, wow. I just usually shake it like a menace. It's almost all sealed. The thing you want to do now is take this edge that's raw and sort of tuck it into itself. Oops. Like that. And then you're going to sew down these two sides together so that you seal the whole thing off. On this one, I would say you definitely want to get it closer to the edge, just so that there's not a loose string hanging around for your dog to be enticed by. All right. All right, team, and here's the really fun part. We're going to quilt it now. So I'm just gonna start from this corner that I was already at, from closing that end off. And I'm just gonna sew all the way. Whoa. I'm gonna sew all the way around the edge to kind of give it an extra level of sealature. So now we've got all these edges with a little kind of top stitching layer. So this is laying much flatter now. And what you're going to do is freehand quilt across the top of it. So I started doing this initially to practice my kind of quilting abilities. The more quilting you do, I would say the more secure the bird will be. So this is good practice if you are trying to become a quilter. Personally, I'm not. I made one tiny little quilt and decided I didn't want to do it anymore. But that's why I made this in the first place, is because I was practicing some quilting and thought, oh, this is really secure. This would be a really good toy for my dog. You can cross over the things you've already done. You can hit an edge and just go back at it again. And it doesn't need to be perfect or beautiful or good if you don't want it to be, because your dog will like it, hopefully. If your dog is anything like my dog, then your dog will like it. So you're just gonna do this all over until your heart's content. Break. Yeah, which one? Oh, the new one. Give me that bird. And it gets her prey drive going like crazy, like gangbusters.